You are listening to your auntie's favorite DJ, DJ Tricey Trice.
What the pod? What the pod? What the pod? What the pod?
What is going on, and welcome back to What the Pod. My name is DJ Tricey Trice, and you are in episode 2. Wow. Welcome back. For those who are new to What the Pod is a podcast that I created that is basically a recommender of all podcasts, all things podcasts. I put an open call on the internet and say, hey, come to my podcast and tell people why they should listen to your podcast. I talk to the people for like 15 minutes, and then they show up to the show. It's awesome. This episode, I'm breaking that rule. Even though I just started it, I can do what I want. So I'm breaking it. And these are my homies. So please help me welcome to the show Tyra, Aisha, and Jenny, the ladies of the SHEnanigans Podcast. Woo!
Hey!
I got to add some sound effects in there or something. But we can't... And what's funny is the intro music actually has air horns at the end. I just edited it into the episode. So when you listen to it back, we going to have the air horns going. It's going to be lit. But thank y'all for joining me. What's happening on y'all ends?
Hey, thanks for having us. Yes, thank you.
Yes. Introduce yourselves real quick. Let them know who you are, one by one and as a unit.
Sure. I'm Tyra.
I'm Aisha. And I'm Jenny. Jenny, a.k.a. Yenny.
A.k.a. Papa.
A.k.a. Papa.
Come on.
Take care of her girls.
I got a whole bunch of names.
Yes. And I invited y'all to What the Pod because I've been listening to the SHEnanigans Podcast for a minute, and y'all are always hilarious. Y'all are always over the board with topics. So tell the people a little bit about what your podcast and what they can expect to hear when they listen in.
Yeah.
So I knew she was gonna look at me. I felt it. All right. So we are the Strength of She LLC. We started in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
We are a women's empowerment company, and we decided that we should just start talking about the things that we write about. Mm-hmm. And so we started our podcast in 2017. And we have a couple of segments. We drop every other Thursday on SoundCloud and the Apple Podcast app. But we start off with like an icebreaker. So I ask them one silly, random question, nothing to do with whatever we're talking about, but, just to get our juices flowing. And then we usually have a hot topic. It depends on like a current event that's going on or what type of campaign that we're doing at the time. And then we break into segments, and we all have a segment, Be Well, Be Love, and Be You. And so it's wellness, it's about love, relationships, how to love yourself, and then how to be the best you that you can be. And then Jenny wraps it up with a little, she-spiration. She gives us
some gems,
a bomb-ass quote, and we be like this.
Yes.
So that's our podcast.
Awesome. And you always need a bomb-ass quote to finish it out so you can put something on Instagram, the caption and all that already. That's good. Yeah. All right, you said you start off with some kind of icebreaker. So bring that to me. Like, let's do an impromptu icebreaker right now.
Oh, okay, I got you. Off the dome. You ready?
Whatever y'all ready. This is y'all show pretty much right now. I invited you, but let's do it.
If a killer approached you and they asked you to do a dance or you'll be killed, what dance you doing?
Oh. I'm probably going to go with the electric slide. Only because in moments that's life or death, you really need to take it back to your roots and do something you really can do good. Because I can't mess up at that point. So I ain't going to try to throw a TikTok in there and I'm like, oh, I missed a step. You can't do that.
No. That is a classic.
That is you have to go back to those moments. And nobody ever gets mad, especially when you slap your foot real hard. It's like you hitting the electric slide.
Yeah,
at that point.
Okay.
You gotta go hands right. Yes.
That is exactly what I'm on. So I want to hear y'all answers. Y'all come with what you got? What dance?
I'm doing the bankhead bounce. Like this is
it.
That's what you Tyra like banks like Tyra.
That's what I got for the killer. This is it.
That's what I got.
We keeping it upper body, baby.
That is what's up.
What dance you doing?
Man.
Now you dance fever.
Right, go ahead.
Honey Daniel.
Aisha Dance Fever.
Shut up. I dance in the privacy of my home. You know, I'm probably pussy bumping.
Wow, in a moment of life or death. And you know what? You are committed.
When that thing gonna be thinking you can't kill me. That thing gonna say it right.
That thing is gonna say, man, you gotta be committed to that thing. You better save yourself with that thing.
Okay. Life or death.
Life or death.
Jenny,
Going
what
in the
you
air.
doing?
Oh man, what would I do?
What dance? You
Now-
probably do a little two-step.
I'm gonna do something that's really old. You know how like when y'all were a kid and they were like, do that little dance you do. I do the Tootsie Roll.
Oh,
Okay.
I can see you doing that.
So you immediately go to like auntie mode. Like if your auntie's standing there and it's like, do that dance. You just doing that. You're like,
Do that little dance.
please don't kill me.
Like, I do it.
that's exactly.
Oh man.
I'll give you $1.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. And you know what? Who comes up with these kinds of questions? Like, are y'all making these up off the top of your head?
It's me.
You should just tune in for the Tyra questions then, because that's
Literally.
wild, dog. I would never think to ask nobody that question.
It'd be stuff like that. I don't know.
And we will go off the rails. One episode, we went off the rails so bad on the icebreaker. We was like, that wasn't a hot topic.
Like,
we ain't even made it in the episode yet.
yeah, it was like 20 minutes in this icebreaker.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
lit. Sometimes you got to stay in the icebreaker moment too and just let it flow organically. That's why I like this show. I'm like, let me just talk to these people. I don't know what they got going on. We just gonna see what's happening on the day we record. You know,
Right.
it's lit. All right, cool. So, how long have you guys had the podcast? Like,
Woo.
straight up.
2017. I think that's when we started. That's my final answer.
That's your final answer?
I think
That's
so.
for $1 million?
Yeah. I think that's
I feel like
it.
it was.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
2017.
No.
So y'all been in it for a minute now. So y'all pretty much have like a whole.
No. Yes.
Yes, but
But you know, we be taking breaks and intermissions. You know,
Life happens.
Life happens. We go on quarantines and stuff. We went through some host changes.
okay.
And then we went through just some restructuring. Like Tyra
Mhm.
says, a brand. Like we really kind of looked at especially before we hit 5 years, and was like, okay, what do we love? What do we not love? What do we want to keep? And kind of try to pare things down a bit more.
Mhm.
And so that's where Be Love, Be Well, and Be You came from.
That's awesome. What is it like creatively as women to occupy that space together and like to collaborate? How is that for y'all?
I think it's pretty easy. Because the hot topic, we kind of just throw out different ideas. Again, it depends on what is going on. And then we all individually have a segment that we bring, and we don't really collab on that.
But
Got
it
it.
just like we just organically like mesh.
Mesh.
It just,
Yeah.
it just flow.
Yeah.
Like we just know, like, I don't know, just our personalities are different, but it works.
And our
Yeah.
experiences are different. And we accept that we all come from different perspectives. And that's what we love and enjoy about talking to each other about all the different things that we talk about, because we learn from one another through that. And then we learn about each other more through that too. So it makes us tighter and closer.
Yeah. So when you say different perspectives, give the people a little taste of what each person brings and that background that they bring.
Oh, let's see. I could go on and on about that. I mean, especially I'll say like from love. Like I'm divorced. I was married 5 years. Like I'm a mom. I have to figure out like how do I navigate my singleness after divorce, and and then them being single and dating, but from a different state.
Yeah.
From a different phase
Like
of life.
right.
Yeah. And whereas I'm like, I know what I want and I know what I don't want, because I've kind of had this life already. So I can just be more, I don't know, direct
direct. I was gonna say raw, but I don't be,
Yeah.
because some people's experience is like you said, I know what I want and I know what I don't want. That's very, declarative right there. It's like I ain't just signing up for nothing. I'm not gonna date around somebody who I know I won't have a long-term commitment with.
Yeah.
Right. And some of us may want to date to be married, and some of us just date for fun.
Just for fun. Yeah.
And it changed. Like, of course, as the years changes, what we want changes. So it's nice to see that, see how our, the things that, over time, how they change. Yeah.
Change. So let's talk about dating. Y'all brought that up. I did it. So I'm not in the dating life, and I constantly love to talk about the dating life because I was so trash at dating. And it's like I kind of lucked up and this lady fell into my life, and then like I'm dating her now, and even sometimes in the marriage I'll be like, dang, I need to really step my date game up. I'm not that good at dating. You know what I mean? Not that romantic. I'll be just trying to go to bars and watch games and do things that's just like she don't really want to do all the time. So tell me what the dating life is like right now. Like, what are some pros, some cons, some things that you're doing well? Y'all faces please watch this on YouTube, y'all.
Start with the pros, and we'll probably have to do another episode for the cons. We can start with the pros, though. From my perspective, I think that it just seems like it's so hard to do something that should be simple. Like, it's just so hard to like date people. I think from being a woman, I feel like the different men that I've dated, it's like they think that, okay, well, if you do want something casual or you just want to have a good time, they think that you're trying to trick them, and then they overthink, and then it just like you're always in this phase of, okay, we're kind of talking, but it's going nowhere. So it's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. I fall into are you tricking me a lot? And I'm like, no, sir, like, I'm really not. Like, you just want what I came to you for. And like, I'm going to go back home. And like, we could talk next week or we cannot. And, and I'm fine with that. But for me, it takes a lot of explaining or a lot of, time to kind of go by before they really get like, oh no, she for real. Like, this really ain't a trap. Right.
And do you think this is a new thing? Do you think that y'all are just a different kind of woman, like a Renaissance woman? Okay. And the kind of men that you would normally date just aren't there with you on that same agreement.
Yeah. Or they just haven't come across women who, can be like, hey, like, I just want sex too. And that's cool because I have needs and I'm going to fulfill my needs and I'm going to take my butt back to my residence and I'm straight. They haven't had to encounter that a lot, or like we had an episode where we talked about you are not the prize. Like, you aren't the prize. Like, I'm not going after you for you, not necessarily. Like, that's not why I'm here. And so it can kind of damper some guys' egos and make them a bit confused. And so trying to navigate that has been interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah. And what age range are these men in too? Like, do you think some of this is more of just like they're not old enough to do that? Or is it coming from a place of egotism on their end where they like, what? How dare you do this to me?
It's that. Because I mean, if you ain't got that at 30, 31, 32, I'm afraid to know how far I'm supposed to go up. But I had a guy that was 40. He was the same way. And so I don't think it has an age limit.
You think it's personality based? It's just like these kinds of, and is it geography? Have you like found different? Only reason I say that is because we just moved to LA, and when I tell you people here are on a different timeline, it's like I live on a different planet.
Yes.
Not even kidding. Like, people here live authentically their truth. You'll see somebody walking down the street and they'll be pop locking at the light, just waiting on it to hit. And you be like, this could be Beyonce's dancer. They could be practicing. Everybody just keep walking. But in Indiana, when I would do stuff like that, or me and India, we go out and we always, joke and say we act like Bobby and Whitney because of the dancing. That's how we act out in public all the time. And people would look at us like, are they celebrities? What are they doing? Or like if there's a camera, and it's just always so much shock where here they're shooting movies and TV. So people don't care. You live your authentic truth. So, dating here might be different because you can be more eccentric than, places that I've been. So that's why I asked about the geography.
I mean, I like a little long distance. I can do it. Like I am pro long distance. So But it's
How far distance, Tyra?
I don't think I got
Oh, you saying like you live in Africa?
Okay, I need to get to you.
Right.
Like I need to get to you, but they know I will hop on a plane in a minute.
You will hop on a plane. So anywhere in the United States.
With the top down.
I literally will. So yeah, in the States. But yeah, and also I'm at a period of my life where I will move. Like where you at, and I'm into this. I will pack.
You will move for a relationship right now. That's
yeah. That's where. Yes, I am at that point. Why not? Why not? What would I lose?
Okay.
I already got myself. Look, all this stuff.
And that's the vibes I'm getting from y'all. It's like everything that y'all say is like, listen, I got it. You could have it. But if you don't have it, that's cool too. Yeah, it's like real conditional. And if we can come to an agreement that we both would benefit from, I'm straight.
I'm straight.
Yeah. And that's
I'm moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is one common thing that we do have together, regardless of our perspective of what we're looking for. At the end of the day, I think it helps that we will always have each other's back and will always uplift each other. Like you have everything that you need already. So, don't ever forget that. Yeah. And that's why I think this works. Yeah.
That is so refreshing and empowering. I promise. And you don't hear this a lot from straight women in relationships, to be honest, because it's just a tough space. Like people joke about lesbians moving in super quick. Like me and my wife, we got married 18 months. Like it was it. I told her I love her like second phone conversation. I was like, I love you, girl. Bye. Like, you'll say it back one day. That's how I was. But we're just more open and willing to like be more vulnerable, and I think it's because of that sisterhood and trust. And it's good that y'all found that same vulnerability inside of friendships to fuel your outside relationships. Like that is so dope. And I think that people just should listen for that, because I know I've been in places where I haven't had my friends around. So listening to y'all podcast is like, what is they up to? Yes. All right. So keeping it rolling. How have y'all balanced the podcast life with y'all professional life?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that it's gonna be a forever, like, not necessarily a challenge, but something that we're working towards to kind of get better at managing it all. I think that we do well at managing it, but I think that, over the years we've honed in on what we wanted things to look like and kind of just figured out, okay, with just the three of us, what works best. So we communicate a lot, we have different calendars and things. So we just make sure that we are all on the same page through staying in communication.
And we're very gracious with each other. Aisha has a son, so we try to, navigate that. And all of us, I work 3 days a week and they work more than that. So I have a little bit more time. And then we just try to fill in the gaps. Sometimes we have to see, okay, do we need to record 2 episodes? Because this month's looking busy. Yeah. Can we just do 1? Can we do a mini episode? We just are really gracious with each other and are very delicate and understanding of each other, like what we all have going on.
And hold each other accountable. Like, we all kind of, one of the other changes were that we kind of divided and conquered the business. And so Tyra took over the podcast, which I was like, praise the Lord. But, it's not always just on her though. Like Jenny can easily say, hey, y'all know we record next week. Or y'all got y'all segments ready, or y'all need some more time. But we're real with each other, but we're also real with our listeners. And so that was really important, especially because we used to come out every week and it was just too much for us. And we had to say, okay, how can we stay consistent and keep coming back and not feel like we're letting people down that look for us? And so that's why we switched to every other week, and it's just worked. And so I think as long as we continue to have that same grace with each other, but also be very open with our listeners about what's going on in our lives, they get it, we get it, and we show up and we do it. So
Yes, that just goes to show. And the reason I asked that question is because there are a lot of people listening to this podcast who constantly want to start a podcast. They've been telling everybody in their family, oh yeah, I got a lie, I'm gonna start my podcast, and they actually don't do it because of life reasons. So if y'all can figure it out with 3 individual people with 3 lives and, you know, a son, a work schedule, you know, they can link up with other people and get their story out there too, because all stories matter. And that's what I think is cool about podcasts. Like, everybody can just get on here and talk their shit. Like,
but I think it also has a lot to do with just like, well, I mean, what matters to you the most, you know? And I think that one reason why we've kind of kept She going is because like we really care about it and we're invested in it and we want to help other people. And then also, I know for me, I feel like just being part of She and, you know, writing blogs and doing podcasts, like, it's very empowering for myself to be a part of it. So I think it really just comes down to like what matters the most to you, and then you make time for that.
yeah. Did y'all take a break during quarantine?
Yeah, we did.
When did y'all come back from that?
Like July.
Sometime this summer.
Like July, like March, July?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it was like, about March, and then we probably came back when it was like safe to be around each other, because I'm a healthcare professional, and so I was trying to be very delicate, because at that time we didn't know a lot that was going on, and so I asked their comfortability level. You know, this is what I do. I don't really know sometimes if I'm around people with COVID or I have patients with COVID, but you know, I don't want to infect anyone if I even have it. So and they were honest about how they felt. You know, Aisha was very protective of her son and herself. So I was like, that's fine. We don't have to meet, and we'll do it when it's safe to do so.
Yeah. That's lit. So I bet the reason I asked the quarantine question is, when y'all came back, how different people were you? Like what during quarantine have you changed the most individually? I want 3 different ones on this, because I know y'all got something.
That's a good one.
And I can start since I asked the question.
Start.
Just during quarantine. So I actually got COVID twice through gigs, because I'm a DJ. You know, I'm at bars, I'm on microphones. I got it last in October. And then I actually gave it to India. So India didn't get it the first time, but the second time she got it. And it kind of made me think, like, what the hell? Like, am I going to keep going out and gigging and putting her health at risk, now my health? And luckily, you know, we had a good reaction to it, but we was out for a month. So at that point, I just canceled all my gigs and we sold everything in our house and moved across the country to change the lane. That's just what it was. I was a wedding DJ for 10 years and that business was closed. It's gonna come back. You know, it sounds sad, but it really freed me in different ways, because now I got to professionally work in the podcasting arena for a day job, as well as, you know, now have time to record my content and not have to feel like I got to go pack up my equipment, hop in my truck, be in Illinois, then Indiana, then fly to, you know what I mean? Like, I have more, I'm doing everything in the apartment now. We've changed our living situation completely to where I don't have to worry about cutting the grass, cleaning the garage, none of that stuff no more. So I got so much more time, you know, and that's really the benefit that I came. I just felt more free to express myself differently in my creative format. I can still DJ and be an internet DJ, but now I have that podcasting part to really round myself out. And that's what I really wanted to do. I would sit and think at night and want to do that in Indiana, but I just felt like if I could start over, I would do it different. And I started over and I did it completely different.
That's what's up.
That is. I think quarantine made me even more fearless, because like I said, you know me, I've always been a very free-spirited person, but I'm also a Cancer. So we are very much like in our shell, you know. I love my home. And ever since, like, recently, I'm like, forget it all. Like, let's just pack this up. Let's just go. I don't even know where I'm going. I don't even know what I'm doing. Maybe I don't want to leave. Maybe I don't know. So I think it made me more fearless and even more adventurous than what I really already was. But now I actually have more of the balls to do the things.
Yes. Fearless.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Aisha? Or Jenny, you got it? You next?
Yeah, I so I feel like for me, so before, it's, you know, they have this like laughing thing where, oh, Jenny, you don't do anything, you didn't go anywhere, you didn't do things. So the thing is, I feel like when COVID happened, even though, like, I swear, like, at the beginning of the year, like, that's something that I wanted to do. Like, I wanted to travel more and I wanted to get out and experience things. But then COVID happened. So I feel like, can y'all stop?
Yes.
I feel like the fact that opportunity was taken away from me, I feel like now, like, I feel just more motivated to just get out and do things. like when an opportunity presents itself, like I want to be out, and I don't ever want to feel like that opportunity is taken away from me, or I didn't, enjoy that time for whatever reason. So just not allowing myself to be held back by myself.
Yes, especially around traveling, because the world still kind of is closed, and it's, well, in some places, Texas. If you go to Texas right now, girl, you go wow.
Everything open.
Everything open.
Everything open.
Faces and all, no mask.
Yeah, no mask. That's all I'm saying.
Nothing. They just out there free. They say
you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me enough to do that right now.
Ain't that?
Just the anxiety. Don't you know what I mean? Don't you feel like when your face be out there, Bear? I seen some on Facebook that said you go out for 10 seconds without a mask and it's panic because you don't want people to think you're a Republican.
Yeah.
Just simply, I actually believe in science. I'm sorry.
I'm like, I just left my mask at home. I had that moment yesterday. I ran out and I got in the car and I was like, all of my masks are in the house. And I had to put Tristan's mask on because it was the only mask I had in the car.
Mask.
I'm like, I know they like, why does chick got this mask? Hey, I'm covered.
I'm covered. Yes, always covered. Okay.
That's right.
Oh, I was trying to think about how I wanted to put this because it's two things. And look, now I ain't gonna give you sappy today because they know I don't like being sappy.
Gangster.
Yeah, thug it out. But one piece was I lost quite a few loved ones last year. And like people that were very significant in my life. My mother-in-law, my grandmother, my grandmother's brother, like all hit home, all in the fall. And they were all people that I stayed away from purposefully, due to COVID. And then, I had guilt because I'm like, you were probably going to die anyway. And I could have just come and seen you and had those goodbyes with you. And so it did make me cherish my people more and make me want to reach out more because I'm not a reacher and I try because I be busy but not to use it as an excuse. Like, you have to make time for your people because you just never know. Young people, old people, you just never know. That was one piece, but the other piece was work just really sucked. Like we're still remote. We're still at home. Next week will be a year since we've been home. And it brought a lot of health issues for me. Like being at home, working nonstop on a computer, like for 12, 13, 14, 15 hours some days. And so my anxiety was through the roof. My depression had came back. My migraines had came back. And it just really made me look at things. Those two things put together made me look at my life more. I'm already very reflective anyway, but it made me look at my life even more and be like, okay, what do I really, really want? And what do I really not want?
Yeah.
Because whatever I want, I'm going after that. And I don't care who says what about it, but like, I'm going to be very prescriptive in what I want and what I need from people, from things, from places, from work, from whatever, and not accept anything less because we've seen how much life can change over the past year. And my wellness, my health, my happiness are most important. And so that just elevated that for me even more.
I mean, that hit home on so many different levels. I mean, your people, you forget about your people. And I'm one of those busy ones. Like, I got my mama on the 2 to 7 business day call back plan. You know what I mean? But you really need to make time. And that's why, like, right before we jumped on, my niece was calling me. But I'm like, I'm going to call you right back, just because time and space does get there. Man, y'all are dropping gems. Just all the feels. But you know what? You miss this kind of talk. I mean, I'd hang around. There are some girls here that we hang out around, but for the most part, it's guys. So you miss this kind of just conversation and dialogue and feel good. Like, y'all make me want to just wash my hair, deep condition, light an incense, all those things, which I got to do because my hair is very nappy. So since we got on self-care, what's one self-care item or activity that you do now, straight out the gate, has to be your number one mandatory?
Nap. Take a nap.
Just nap. All right. That's it. Is that every day or is that a...
I've been taking vitamins, and it's been keeping me from napping. Like, I don't like that. But I will take a nap. I will sleep at work. Every day.
I hope your job is not listening at all.
They know I take
They
a
have
nap.
nap rooms.
We got nap.
Oh, you work in healthcare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take your nap, sis, just in
It's
case
like
I come to the
crazy
hospital.
up in there and shit.
I go to the sanctuary of healing. I go meditate in there.
Yes.
Meditation turns into a nap.
Yes.
I come back on time. That's what matters.
Girl, meditation turned into a nap. I could literally get a t-shirt that says that because every time I meditate, I wake up like, what the fuck? How long I've been asleep?
That means you was doing it right.
Doing it right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, Aisha.
I'm gonna say working out. Don't look at me like that.
I didn't, because you're right. That is
my thing.
That is her thing. That's
Whether
her
it's
jam.
going to Zumba, going to hip hop cardio when I'm being Honey Daniels, going to this trainer that be kicking my butt now.
So you got a trainer? I was gonna ask you what you doing to work out.
I did just get a trainer because sis had goals that needed to be escalated.
Yeah.
It has to.
And so I'm trying to, be thick and swimming away for my birthday
I feel it. When? How long you got? When your birthday?
next month. Look.
Okay.
You
So
know,
this is.
I could do a lot of damage in 5-6 weeks.
Yeah.
See, I like the way that you think. I'm like, because usually people are like, my birthday's in the fall, and you're like, all right, cool, they're gonna go the whole year. You're like, no, I applied the pressure 30 days.
30
Yeah.
days.
It's changing, whatever.
Strict
Like,
on the diet, drink the water, do
Yeah.
the workouts, have the sex, it all inclusive.
wow, sex is a part of your fitness.
I was including. I was gonna say that first, but I figured I could just. That's a part of my workout regimen.
It is. We do talk about it a lot on
We
the
do.
podcast.
It's one of our favorite things.
We say we water our plants.
Yes.
That's how we.
Water your plants. And
Water
so-
your plants.
Yes, water your plants.
I'm gonna tell y'all what it is for me.
Whether you're watering your own plants or
Yes.
someone else is watering your plants, but water your plants.
So
Because masturbation matters, and
Yeah.
people need to know that. Yeah.
Yes, it
you
does.
gotta kind of do it daily. It's important.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell India, because I wear a Fitbit all the time and I'm like religiously wear it. I'm like, I'm logging this as calisthenics. So that's sex for us. Gotta hit the Fitbit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
It is.
Yes. All right, cool. So we got yours. Jenny, what you got?
So I would probably say,
Where are you at?
I didn't say anything.
I'm like,
Okay. I didn't say nothing.
so I would
What
probably
you got?
say journaling and working out.
How do I was gonna say writing stuff down?
Writing stuff down.
Writing stuff down.
Just in general.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
I do.
How do you, okay, so I've always like been really jealous. How good is your penmanship, one? And two, how do you keep all of these like written documents in order?
That's the key.
That's a major key.
So I mean, I feel like I have pretty good handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
So I have calendars, and I use sticky notes.
Calendars with an S.
Calendars with an S. That's what I was like.
Plural.
She has them in multiple rooms.
Plural.
Only one room. So I have a calendar that, well, yeah, I only have one calendar. So I have a calendar that I have in my room. And that's more, because here's the thing. So I tell myself I want to prioritize me. So that calendar is really for me to,
That's your key calendar.
Right. Making sure that I'm doing like different things each day and stuff like that. And then I have my planner for work. And then I have like a workout calendar. So it's like I have different calendars for
Ooh. You carry around all these in your bag in your purse like this.
and all together.
Your purse heavy and it's like you gotta clutch it like that. It's a big bag.
It's a big bag.
I know, but that is so awesome that you're like, yeah, I have a calendar for this, because I do that too, just digitally. I'm always just so like enthused with people who are still like,
Writing stuff.
I have a paper.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm still
We all
pen and
have
paper.
pen and paper planners.
Yeah, I have a pen and paper planner too. I think that's one thing that we got from kids. Like when we were kids in high school and stuff, like you had a planner, you had a plan for your life.
Yeah.
So we still have those kinds of things. but some people don't, and that shocks me too. But Jenny with the multiple calendars in the different rooms for
I've
me.
had some issues with like losing things electronically. So I think that's one thing. Like I fear of like having everything in one place and it all just getting lost in a cloud, and I just can't get it back.
That's trauma. That's trauma. You're speaking from a traumatic place. I used to work at the AT&T store, and people like you would come in there all the time. Like, excuse me, I need to change my phone. Back up. Where's the cloud? Where does the cloud live? Because my stuff. Yeah. I need to hook you up one time, Jenny. If I hook you up one time, you'll be set.
Yo, Treese, I gotta make you laugh because it wasn't even the cloud for Jenny. Jenny had some on the floppy disk.
No, it was a flash drive. It was a flash drive. It was a flash drive. It was a flash drive.
How long ago was this, Jenny?
It was a floppy disk.
It was a flash drive.
It was like 2 years ago. It was like a couple years ago.
It was like 2 or 3 years ago. She had all of her she things, and she went to go like meet with me
what happened.
and organize something, and it was all gone. And I was like, Jenny,
We were
not on
meeting
your
for
computer?
the retreat,
yeah.
and then
You were like, it's gone, everything.
I know, Jenny, I'm gonna ask you one question. Before you take your flash drive out of your computer, do you eject it?
At that time, I don't think I was.
She wasn't.
I didn't-
That's okay. That's
Now I do. Now
so you killed it. It sounded like you killed your documents.
I probably did.
I taught her how because when
Okay.
she put it in, it said it was not formatted, and I said, oh.
Oh yeah, you definitely. Oh yeah, but you know what? It happened to me, and I'm a DJ. I had like I think 77,000 songs at the beginning of quarantine, and they all wiped. And I was gonna pay like a stack to get them all back. And then I thought, how stupid! I just rebuilt it, and that's where I'm at.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but it's happened like 2 or 3 times over the past 10 years. Like it's gonna happen, but I use it as an opportunity to just restructure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got remixes in there. I got stuff that I did live that I ain't never like. I would just play it because I recorded it while I was like, yeah. It broke my. I cried.
Yeah,
for 2 days.
I would have too.
I
Yeah.
cried, but I still save everything in the cloud and on drives because, girl, that handwriting, my hand, I don't know. It's like this the pen I write with. First of all, so you know it's fine print. It's just this. So then after like 2 sentences, I get locked. It's like carpal tunnel. It's just and then I drop the pen and it's like this, and then I just go back to typing. I could type really fast.
Yes, I do. That.
Yeah.
I can type fast. I still like to write things. That's how I remember them. Like,
Yeah.
when I write it down.
I've
Yeah.
through multiple times.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And with manifesting, they say you're supposed to like write it down.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Yeah, you know that's her.
What's your manifestation journals?
Oh,
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can plug, shamelessly plug. Drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You should tell us about your manifestation journal since we own that now.
Well,
Oh, hold on. Let me go get it.
look, she has one.
Oh, yes. Go get it for the people who are watching on video. Shameless plug for you to stop listening to this on podcast version and go to either YouTube or
Yeah.
Twitch or backstage on my Patreon page. You know, you get all the uncut things, even though I'm not doing a whole lot of editing. It's basically just you giving me $5 a month. It's cool. You can do that.
So, beginning of the year, I dropped my second journal, the Reflections and Manifestations Journal. And so I wanted to create a journal where people can get in a good practice of reflecting, but also manifesting and doing it regularly. So it's a monthly guided journal, and I take them through how to reflect and how to manifest every single month of the year to get to their goals or to get to their whole year. So 2021 manifestations, but taking them at a chunk at a time. Because looking at that progress over month after month can kind of help people keep going, see their progress, understand what they've done, and can just drive them to keep going forward. So
Yes.
my journal.
Look in the comments, y'all, for this manifestation journal. And let me tell you how I could have benefited from this. Straight up.
You still
So,
can.
I still can. I know. I never look back. I'm so hard on myself. Hold on, y'all. My computer about to die.
Toasty.
Okay. So for me, we started that 75 hard challenge like the second week of January or something.
Yes.
So I'm really hard on myself because I don't look at I don't reflect. I worry about the right here, right now. And if I wrote it down as a goal for the day and it didn't get done, there are not consequences, but I am a very disciplined person. You know, I get what I need to get done every single day, period. Yeah. Like, there's not a person, place, or thing that's stopping me from hitting my goals. But during this 75 hard challenge, you do these things every single day, and they tell you to take a picture every day, but you don't put them side by side. You don't think to put them side by side. So I recently just like put them side by side, and I'm like, I'm sitting here talking about my thighs are so damn fat, but they not. If you look at the first couple pictures and then look at the one that's here, you wouldn't even talk to yourself like that, and you would give yourself some grace because you see you've been showing up every single day, and here is proof of that. And I feel like if I wrote it down somewhere or had my measurements wrote down or something, you know, I just been casually doing it. And now that I'm at day almost 60, I'm like, it's getting tough.
Yeah,
it was good for me to look back and see that and make me want to actually finish it and not quit.
Mm-hmm. Because even if you don't accomplish what you set out to do that day or that week or whatever, you accomplish something.
Yep.
Like, and it still contributes to the overall goal, to your overall path and your journey. So it may not have looked like what you wanted it to look like, but you're still going to get where you're going at the end of the day. So that's also a part of that reflecting, is giving yourself grace within that and being acknowledging of that.
Yeah, that's major. I'm telling you, it would have helped me these last like 20 days to not be so like, man, you know, I'm grumpy, especially when I work out. I mean, I don't necessarily like to work out, but I need to look good when I go out. That's just what it is. I'll eat whatever I need to eat, do whatever workout I need to work out, because when I put on those clothes, they better.
Yeah, right. It's like, I need to look good. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's just so lit. Okay, so what else y'all got from Strength to She? What's happening? I saw y'all drop some pictures on IG.
Oh, yes.
What's happening next?
So, well, we're in our Be Seen campaign right now, where it is all about encouraging women to.
It's all good. Listen, let it out. This is a free space up in here. This is an open and welcoming space.
So something's happening. But what we are encouraging women to really be seen in all the spaces that they live in, and to really own who they are and show up as themselves, and not feel like they have to shrink who they are or shrink a part of their identity and their personality to kind of make others comfortable or to conform or to move ahead. Like, really elevating that their voice, their presence, their representation, like all of that matters in the world. Whether it's the big world or their smaller nuclear world, like, it matters. And so encouraging women to show up and be seen as who they are. So that's what we've been focused on this last week, for the next week or so. And so we have a few other things that are going to drop with it. We have some new merch that's dropping with it. That just dropped. Yeah. That's on the shop for She.
Yep, it is.
Yeah. So tell them all that. So y'all got merch. Y'all got there's a journal up there. There's a new campaign for Be Seen that's up there. Yeah. Where can they find all of this information?
At thestrengthofshe.com. They can find it all at shop.thestrengthofshe.com for the merch. And then we'll have some other cool things that'll come along with some visuals. That'll come along with the Be Seen campaign. But it's like the first series of a 3-part series that we're rolling out for the rest of the year.
For the rest of the year. Okay, man. I like how y'all playing content for the year, and I'm just making it up. I'm like, hey, come on my show. I'll just ask you questions.
You know, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
No plan. I can't be planning this out, y'all. This is the most I had. Sending y'all that link was as much planning as I had.
Look, and we're friends.
We work very. that does not work for us.
Yeah.
We have to broadly plan and then have small planning sessions.
Yes.
And because it will not happen.
It won't happen.
Yeah.
We don't like that.
Yeah.
I think there's just some people like that though, like, but like me and India, how we live, we really don't plan for anything. Like, we know the general direction in which we're going in, but we're just up in the air about all the details. We'd be like, all right, we'll do this. We just don't like being locked into having to do things. I think.
Yes, and we have gotten, you know, in running a business, you find out what works and what does not work. And it takes a long time, years for trial and error. And I think we're finally like really in our bag and are realizing that like it's great to plan, but also let it happen. Like we all have been, you know, putting out our content differently because we have so many like images and so many different messages, and we've all just been putting it out. It hasn't been like no super real structure, and like we've been getting reposted from like major blogs and stuff like that. And so it's nice to just let it happen because you are right. If you plan too hard, like you will overthink it.
We used to be at that point where we would overthink it, and then we would not do things, or we would get in our own way. And so at some point we were like, okay, we just have to do it. And trust that we know what we're doing and it's gonna work out right.
Yeah, because Tyra called us. She put out an SOS message right before we dropped the first images. She was like, are we dropping this campaign tomorrow? Like, we talked about all these things, but are we doing this? And I was like, look, it's going out. I got what I need from you. Like, you know, we're just going to roll with the punches this week, and we're just going to let it flow. And so I think, you know, that comes with it too.
Yeah. And I think I've learned that because I was a kid entrepreneur. So I went to entrepreneurship camp when I was 12, if you can believe that. So I've started like 11 businesses my whole life. Like I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I always had a side business. When I was in high school, I had a side business. So for me, I've learned that over the years because I would be stressed and anxiety ridden the whole time. And then it's like, dude, if I just had not worried, it all worked out. Like, and it's constant, and especially with DJing, I don't even know what song I'm gonna play next. People be like, did you practice? I practiced so I can get my hands right, but the actual song, you know, I might be feeling Beyonce. I might be feeling, you know, so my life is that.
It's a vibe thing.
Yes, and I'm so glad if y'all ever need some vibe, my friends call me for that. They be like, girl, I'm overthinking this and it. Call me. I'll be like, listen, if it ain't gonna matter 5 years from now, you shouldn't spend 5 minutes thinking on it, girl. Move on. Yeah. But I'm excited to see y'all new series. If y'all don't follow them on IG, look at the caption and follow them on IG. The pictures are fire. Any last things from the SHEnanigans crew before we end out? Y'all want to say something, pitch something?
Just follow us on all of our social media handles. So we are at Strength of She, like that's the LLC, but the podcast is at SHEnanigans_pod, POD. So we're on Twitter and on Instagram. So just follow us. You'll see us dropping little like audio clips, memes related to whatever we're talking about, just different stuff. So
yes,
you can participate in our crazy icebreaker questions as well.
Love to have
because that was off the chain. I'm like, what? Who would even ask a question like this? But yeah, I got you.
That's it. And I don't even prep them ahead of time. It literally be live. Like
that's what's up. That is what's up. All right, y'all. So thank you, y'all. These are my homies, and thank y'all so much for spending some of y'all time here with me today.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, y'all. This has been episode 2 of What the Pod. Please like, share, subscribe, whatever platform you're looking at this on. Hit that little share button and tell all your friends about it. Next episode, I got some dope people coming along as well. So I'll see y'all soon. Thank y'all for listening.